All right, I had to get on here and make a quick video because even as an astrology believer and practitioner, it still amazes me just how much you can actually predict if you actually know the fundamentals of astrology. So I've made various predictions on my TikTok account as well as YouTube and Rumble. Go watch those videos so you can know that I'm not just BSing you guys, that I actually saw this stuff and was like, oh, I think this is going to happen. I basically said that as soon as Mars goes into Capricorn, where it's exalted, um, because America is a Scorpio ascendant in sidereal astrology, where it's ruled by Mars. So we can see Mars down here. Again, it's exalted in Capricorn, which means it's at its strongest. If you think of Mars as the warrior planet, and that's down here. Let me zoom in. If you think of Mars as a warrior planet, when it gets to Capricorn, it becomes a general. It gets discipline. It performs with calculation rather than like wanton violence and chaos. It gets things done in a way in which it can win rather than just being bloodthirsty like the normal Mars. So again, we see it's at 0 degrees Capricorn because it entered Capricorn last night around 5 p.m. Central. And today, on the literal first day where Mars was fully in Capricorn for the full day, we get news that Trump threatened strikes against Iran and basically said, if you don't do what I say, we will strike you. And what he asked for, it sounds like Iran was going to execute a bunch of protesters. And Trump said, if you execute those protesters, I will strike you. That made Iran back down from executing the protesters. So he got what he wanted, just like a general. Also, in Trump's own chart, he's a Leo ascendant with Mars in the ascendant. So he's also a martial person, and he's a martial person on the world stage, where, again, Mars is now exalted on the world stage. So Trump is going to get what he wants in these conflicts, and he's going to be letting his dick hang out and swinging around. He's going to really push the envelope in every single conflict to get what he wants so that he can win. Again, he's going to act like a general and try to do things calculated. Let's see. We also got news that even though they agreed to not execute those protesters, we mobilized military assets to the Middle East. Sounds like we're getting ready to handle some business and get things done. So he also mentioned that when asked why he didn't execute the strikes, he said he only wants to strike Iran if he can do so in a way where we win decisively and quickly rather than starting a new war. So again, this is a warrior not acting like a bloodthirsty warrior, but instead acting like a general who's doing things calculated and decisively in order to win. It's crazy. It's literally the first day that Mars is in Capricorn. It's like you couldn't write a better story. Mars will be in Capricorn for the rest of the month, I believe, until January 23rd. We can check real quick, and we can expect this kind of behavior from America that whole time. And if we take a look at like what's going on in Capricorn, it's not just Mars. We have a crazy stellium. This usually doesn't happen where we have 4 planets in one sign. We got Mars, Sun, Venus, and Mercury close behind, about to enter Capricorn. I also made a prediction about that. So it's going to be popping for, let's see, this is 1 week, this is 2 weeks, that's the end of January, February 6th, Mars is still only halfway through, February 13th, 22nd degree, February 20th, so I think it's like February 23rd, Mars will be in Capricorn, so expect this crazy general energy from America until about February 23rd. And again, I also made a prediction. I might as well remind you guys again that as soon as Mercury enters Capricorn, that happens on July 19th, we will see America start to move in ways where we gain from these conflicts. Mercury rules the 8th and the 11th house in America's chart. The 8th house is the house of crisis and transformation, and the 11th house is the house of profit, gain, social circles. It's the things you get from the world. And so we are going to see those energies start to integrate and express themselves through this third house, which is conflict, expression. It's how you perform out there with the people around you and the force that you exert around you. So expect America to try to get some things out of these conflicts. I predicted that as soon as Mercury enters Capricorn on January 19th, we might see some news about Greenland. The third house is also neighbors, so that makes me think about Greenland. It's crazy. So let's see if these predictions come true. Remember, it's like the whole window. I didn't really expect things to. I made the prediction that things would pop off the day it happened, but I more or less thought that we'd see this energy for the whole month. I didn't really think that it would be the first day, even though I made that prediction. So let's see what happens on the 19th when Mercury enters Capricorn. But again, I believe Mercury is in Capricorn until Mercury is the fastest moving planet besides the moon. It's only there till February 3rd. So expect America to try to get things from January 19th to February 3rd through conflict and transformation. So it's going to be a crazy year. It's only the first 16 days and all this stuff is happening. Expect a crazy end of this month and first half of next month. It's not over yet. It's just starting, but let's see what else we can predict. Again, if you have questions, drop them in the comments, but it's really crazy how much you can actually predict if you know what you're looking for. So let's see what happens. If you do have questions about your own chart and want to learn about yourself, hit me up. I got you. Astrology is more than just predicting events in the world. You can also learn at a very deep and intimate level who you are if you use sidereal astrology. So, holla.